Hey guys, okay, this is the second night on my backpacking trip where the ETs came, and I'm gonna explain the night. Just to start off with, I didn't see anything, but they were right over the tent staring at me, and I'm gonna go through that, give you the my experience, spiritual experience, I guess. So I left my buddies. Um, I put a photo of my buddies in here spearfishing. That was the day we saw the UFO, that night. So they were spearfishing, we were screwing around for the day. I put a photo in here, and that night we saw the big red UFO. Just because I got the photo, I want to explain it. Anyway, um, they left. I had the spiritual experience with the Manitou girl, and that night nothing happened. The next day, I backpacked all day and found a place to camp on the beach. And I knew that at 10 o'clock the mosquitoes came out. So I had to be all done supper, cleaned up, cleaned the camp, hung the food in the trees, everything ship shape before 10 o'clock, and the mosquitoes came out of the bush. Just swarmed them. There was no wind coming off the lake this night. It was totally 75, 80 degrees and hot in the tent. And not hot, but you sweat if you moved. So with that all done, I get in the tent. It's pitch black. It's like 10 o'clock, almost 10 o'clock. Mosquitoes are on me. And so I had a little light at the top of the tent, turned the light on, and spent 10 minutes killing mosquitoes. By that time, I'm sweating, and I'm hot as hell. So I just laid there, trying to cool down and fall asleep. And I then, what did I do? Oh, I heard a scratching. I was almost asleep, and I heard a scratching on the side of the tent. Like, I'm thinking, raccoon, possum, bear. And it was loud. Like, it was loud. Outside, it was just sound of crickets, that's all. And bugs like that. Nighttime bugs. I love it, though. Um, I'm freaking out. I'm thinking this thing is gonna tear a hole in my tent, so I gotta get out and kill it or scare it away, whatever this thing is. And I'm scared. Like I'm like it's a fucking bear, right? And I'm like, oh Christ, what's gonna happen when I go to sleep? You know? And so I'm freaking out. And this is like my second night alone, by the way, and I ain't over the fear yet. Not really fear. It's just, you know. No one else there in the middle of nowhere. Excuse me. So, try not to sneeze. So, I gotta go out there and do this. I gotta go out there and see what it is. So, I got this big hunting knife, and I got a big mag light, and I'm in my underwear. And I unzip the tent real quiet. Outside, it's pitch black. Black. I mean, black. And I'm right up against the bush. Like, there's only so much space between the bush line and the water. And I'm on flat rock. So, I'm getting all pumped up, and I'm like, and I'm thinking, fucking mosquitoes. But I gotta figure, I don't want a hole in my tent. So I gotta go out there and figure out what this is about. So I get all juiced up. I get all powered up, and I'm ready to go out there and slay the monster. Alright? And, I enter the tent, and then I run out and I go, like that, and there's nothing there, right? I look around, I'm flashing the light up and down the beach, and there's nothing. And I look out of the water, and I look in the sky, just for aliens, you know. There's nothing there, and I can hear, and all of a sudden I hear the scratching again, and I'm like, there's nothing there. But, so, I walk over, and whatever it is under the tent. underneath my tent, scratching away. So I get, I lift up the tent, and there's a little frog sitting there. You know, and so I'm like, man, you almost got killed. So I put him away. I got him on his way, and went back in the tent. Spent another 10 minutes killing mosquitoes. I then started laying down, and then so it was about a half an hour. I started going back to sleep, and all of a sudden, I pass out, and all of a sudden, just as soon as I pass out, a couple minutes go by. I didn't even pass out. I was just like starting to float away. All of a sudden, I snapped awake, and I get the sound of crickets. And the sound of crickets is out there, but this is internal. It's different. It's just a little different, but it sounds pretty much the same. It's like a field of crickets, and it's loud, and it's getting louder. And I know exactly what that is. It's the ETs. So I'm freaking, and it's coming closer, and it's getting louder, and it's getting louder. And I look, spiritually I look, and I can feel it coming from over top the water, from the west, right down towards me, like this, coming right down towards me, over the water. I didn't see it. I was in my tent. My heart's fucking pounding now. The sound's getting really loud, and I'm laying there, and all of a sudden, my head's ringing. And whenever the ETs come, my head rings. It's a sound, specific sound that they create in my head, and I don't know if they create it or it's just I have a internal response to them in my brain from my past. So whenever I hear this sound, I know it's them. And sometimes it's not loud, sometimes it's real loud. And the farther away they are, outside in outer space or wherever, I hear them quietly. But when they come down, they get closer to me on the earth, and the closer they get, it rings. My head is like a fucking chainsaw. And this is what it's like now. So I'm scared. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, in a pitch black middle of the night, 200 miles away from anybody. Well, almost. And I ain't running no 50 miles in the middle of the night. So whatever it is, I gotta deal with it. And I know what it is. So, oh man, I'm laying there. I'm paralyzed. I'm frozen. I'm curled up in a ball. I'm just paralyzed in fear. And this damn thing is right over the water. And I look spiritually. I spiritually do this. I've always could. Spiritually, I look not from my head, my heart. And I look, and I can see it. I can see the ship sitting over the water with 4 people in it, 4 people that I saw, and the one ET that was hooking up to me. And it's glowing like the spark. Their spark is glowing like, psh, and my spark's going, psh, and it was so powerful. The hookup between the spark, there's that ET spark and my spark was just over the top. And it was like waves of tingles going over me from the spark hookup. And I'm laying there, I'm freaking out. And my instinct is they're going to take me away off the planet. That's my instinct. That's my fear. That was the fear was saying to me, they're going to take me away. And so I try to get my shit together as best I can. And I'm laying there, and I want to open my heart to make the fear go away. But I can barely do that. And because I was like locked up, man. But my heart is glowing. So what I did was I laid there and I tried to open my heart to diffuse the fear. Because once you open your heart to the ETs, the fear goes and goes away. And then you're just talking. I couldn't even do that. And all of a sudden, I had an expression from the ET. and it said, "Come on out of the tent. Come on out and see us. Come out." And I'm like, and I knew what they were going to do at that moment. As soon as they gave me the expression of to come out of the tent and take a look, they were going to show me the ship up close, like over the water, like 50 feet away, sort of thing, couple hundred feet away. And that's what my instinct told me from the impression they gave me in that one burst. Because the soul gives impressions. How they communicate, they give you impressions. Boom. And I'm like, no fucking way. I can't go through the mosquito thing again. I'm making excuses now. Mosquitoes, the heat, it's so late, I'm tired, I'm hurting, all this stuff. And I didn't go out. And that pissed me off to this day. But I didn't go out. And I was just too fucking scared. Bottom line, I was too scared. And the whole feeling was, my instinct was, they're going to take me off. But that instinct, I felt that 100 times from them staring at me. But they never take me off, right? They never take me. So why my instinct says that, the fear instinct, but they never do. And I should have went out and just faced the fear. But I wasn't there yet. I wasn't there yet. There's nothing I can do about it. People say, oh, just go look. You know, fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about. You'll know one day. And anyway, so call me chicken shit. That was it. I wasn't going out. And it's not like not like a tent is going to stop whatever's going to happen, right? They could have beamed it all up into the fucking craft. But I just laid there, paralyzed. And finally, they said, okay. And about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, they started backing off, backing away. And that was it. That was it. And it was a lot of what happened. A lot of what happens, I think, is, now that I look back on it, is I saw them with my cousin 2 days before the ship, and it was way out over the water. But now I'm alone. It's a whole different story. Like, there was no fear. When the last time I saw them 2 days ago with my cousin and my friends, they all went to bed right after the sighting. Didn't say anything, which freaked me out. Then the ship came off the water right over top of us. And I could spiritually see it. The only difference was I was alone this time, and I didn't see the craft. This feeling was the same, everything's the same, the sound of the crickets in my head and everything, all the same. The only difference, I'm alone. Now, what would have happened if I went out? I think I would have saw the craft or a light sitting on the water, and all it would have been was confirmation that, yeah, what you're feeling in your heart and what's going on spiritually is true. That's what they do. And I just had that 2 days before. But I was alone, so it was more intimate. But it was a fear. I'm just not over the fear, man. It's overwhelming. It's powerful. It's overwhelming. And this thing's staring at you. And you're looking at it spiritually. And you can see the craft over the water spiritually. But you can't see it physically. So I already been through this, so I'm thinking, why bother going out and getting eaten by mosquitoes and sweating and staying up for another 2 hours? And the fear's telling me they're going to take me away, right? And the whole thing was joy from my heart. Come play, come see us, come see us. You want to see us all the time. You talk about it all the time. We're here. And I don't, because I'm afraid. Don't ask me, guys. I'm just living day to day, man. I got no fucking answers. Except through these experiences, I learn. So, there you go. That was the second experience with the ETs on Manitoulin Island. I have one more big experience with ETs, and that one much later, almost a week away. And that's about it. So I gotta make that video. But I just wanted to give you an explanation of the series of events that happen. It's like, it's not just like you going to buy a coffee. With your friends, it's all okay. You know, they get weirded out. I knew what was going on. Check the last video. And that's weird, man. As soon as you're alone, the whole storyline changes. And you got that fear. And I just wanted to walk you through it and tell you how it worked out. That's all my internal responses to them coming and how I dealt with it. It's almost like quitting smoking. You got to make up excuses not to quit. It's the same thing. The ETs are coming, you're alone, and you make up excuses not to go out and look at the ship. I don't know. I felt like a damn fool afterwards for not going out. Like I let them down. Like they flew all the way from outer space or wherever they come from to see me and have this cool, and it was all joy in the spark. They're sparking, I'm sparking. The spark said, "Come on, Rich, come on, come on, come on. Come out of the tent and take a look. We gave you this big, cool show." And they don't have to do that. And I was afraid, and I didn't go out, and I feel like a goddamn fool now. But in the moment, look at the picture of the ET. Same color, almost exactly the same as what they look like. Had them in my face 100 times, and I'm still afraid of them. It's like you walk around in reality all day, and then this happens at night. Everything's gone. Everything. Your whole day, your whole tomorrow, fucked. You're taken. When you hook up to the ETs, you're taken out of the day-to-day monotony bullshit. Everything you know in your head day-to-day goes bye-bye. And here you are with fucking ETs staring in your face, and no one is going to believe you. No one. You can get video of them picking their nose out the window, shaking your hand, dancing around. HD video, and no one is going to believe you. It's just the way it is. There will always be people. And then you get the psyops. So the ET crash there, I'm thinking next, after they leave, I'm like, great, here comes the fucking Black Ops helicopter. Right? It didn't come. Now, why do the ETs come when you're alone in the woods? You know, just like random, whatever. Hey, how you doing? It's because you're out of the city. You're out of the eyes of the public, other people. The ETs will come to you if you're out in the woods by yourself or with a friend. They came twice. I haven't had a sighting in 6 fucking years. As soon as I go to the woods, I see the red craft, big as a house and a yard. Bigger, must have been 60 feet across. Bigger than a house and a yard. And the next night I could have went out and had a personal sighting, or the next couple days. So I could have went out and had a personal sighting. Could have filmed them both, but they wouldn't let me. Why? Because it's all secret. People that can't deal with it. Let's say I'm with a guy I just met, and I tell him about all the UFO stuff, and then the UFOs come and show themselves. And he's all cool with it, so he says. He goes home and shoots his fucking wife in the head because he can't deal with it. That's the fucking reality of it. That is the reality of it. You got 100 people, all different psycho makeups. Some religious, some not, some atheist, some that. Everybody who sees that thing, everybody who sees it, they get down with it. They own it. They saw it. Can they deal with it? The ETs don't like that shit. They don't play that probable reality game. They come and they'll do a psych on you, a psycho fucking check you out for your craziness. Alright? Before they attempt to show you. They did for me. They did with my friends. I always do it with my friends. Before my friends get to see it, they make sure they're not crazy and they're going to kill somebody. And that's the reality of it. The ETs ain't going to do that. That's why it's a slow conditioning throughout the public, slowly, over time, so people can get conditioned to it. And it's going to be a long time. Or maybe not. Maybe push will come to shove. Events on the earth will make them move a little faster to where they have to do it. And fuck the consequences, because our survival depends on it. Or whatever. Public disclosure, you know what I mean? But not the government. The government is just a piece of crap, a control mechanism. It's not about the government. It's not about cahooting with our government, because the government is stupid. The government is like a problem they got to deal with. That's what it is, a problem they got to deal with. Officialdom. They don't care. They just want each one of you to smarten up. The government is just a problem in their way. As soon as we smarten up, we're living with them, exchanging gifts and spices, going on rides. The government's in the way. In 100 different ways. You see what I'm getting at? That's what it is. So when I go out in the woods alone, I'm sitting there by myself. There's fucking UFOs are coming. In the city, nothing. Unless there's some other reason. Or unless there's a reason for them to come. But I was there for 5 years since I came back from Vancouver. Nothing happened. I go to the woods within 2 fucking days. I see the craft that I saw when I was a kid. Big as a house, the big red one. And I have this, and I have more coming up on this trip. Do you see the difference? Why that happens? I just told you. They don't play that probable reality game. They don't play it, man. If the crazy guy goes and kills his kids, that's on them, and they know it. That's on them. It's like giving a chimp a gun. It's like you got a spider monkey living in a china shop, and you give it an AK-47 with his whole family. You know? That's what it's like. He's going to shoot his family up and go fucking nuts. Just because you gave him the gun. Just because you saw the UFO. Happens all the time. Google it. You don't know why these fucking people go nuts. Demon connections in their head to UFO sighting. They don't play that probable reality game with psychos. And they don't risk. I don't think they understand the psychos. But they're not going to sit there and do a whole spiritual scan to find out this guy's going to lose it. They just don't bother. So when I'm in the city, I don't see shit. But as soon as I'm out alone, they're like, let's go see Rich. And other people that can deal with it. And I got another experience coming up not too far from here. And 2002, I think it was, where I took my friend out. And I'll tell you about that. It's a huge one. One of the best I've ever had. And we went out in the woods. And I told him beforehand that UFOs are real. And he's like, nah, they ain't. He's like a scientist guy, right? So my buddy, he's like a scientist. Don't believe in shit unless you can pick it apart and gut it. So, yeah. Blew his mind for the rest of his life. And all it is nothing. It's just nothing. It's just nothing. It doesn't matter. You see the UFO, it changes your perception. That's it. They've always been there in outer space. They've always been there. It's just you the light bulb went on. That's it. That's all it is. The rest is theories and myths and fantasies and crazy shit. They're gonna kill us. Fuck. At least with my race, anyway. Anyway, guys. That's why they don't show anything in the city. So, that's my third night alone, or no, my second night alone on my Manitoulin Island trip. Alright, later.